Good evening and welcome to X Stadium on the campus of Wichita State University for the final game of day number 5 of the NBC World Series, the 90th NBC, powered by Evergy. My name is Steve Strain, and we're about set to get started with the GPS Legends and the Seattle Blackfins in a very big game in the final day of pool play for these two teams. Both of these teams are 0-2 in pool play so far, but the top 3 teams in each pool advance to the elimination round. Whoever wins this game will advance. They will have that one win that moves them on, and the other team will go home. So it's do or die for these two teams. One of them will go to 1-2 in the tournament and move on. The other will be at 0-3, and their 2024 NBC World Series tournament will be over. Seattle is the visiting team, so they will bat first. And here we go to get things started at 9:27 Central Time from South Central Kansas. And Ryan Jeffrey is the leadoff hitter for Seattle against Brett Phillips, and Jeffrey fouls the first pitch off. It's 0-1 to him. A very nice night for baseball in Wichita. 90 degrees right now, and there's a light breeze at about 10 miles an hour blowing out of the south toward left field. 0-1, and a fastball at 94 miles an hour by Brett Phillips. And this is for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike now. Phillips winds, delivers. That one at 97, and he is really throwing some heat. And it is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Phillips set and delivers the 1-2, and that one is up high. Brett Phillips is not on the roster for this GPS Legends team, but he looks a lot like the Brett Phillips that played in the major leagues. The pitch, there was some discussion as the pitch is high and tight if that was going to be him, and I honestly still don't know if it is, but there is certainly a resemblance if it's not. And with the kind of heat he's throwing, Brett Phillips was a right fielder for at least part of his career, maybe most all of it. It looks like him. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch swung on and missed, and that's a strikeout and 1 away. So Jeffrey goes down swinging to get us started here on a Monday night from Wichita in the final game of this, again, 5th day of the 90th NBC World Series. A do-or-die game for the GPS Legends and the Seattle Blackfins. Here's Harrison Kaufman up there from the right side of the plate taking a strike. It's 0-1 to him. Seattle lost to Hayesville 3-1 on Friday, and then they lost to Santa Barbara 3-2 Saturday in extra innings. So a couple of close games. They lost to Hayesville by 2, lost to Santa Barbara by 1 in extras. Fastball pops the glove. That one at 97 miles an hour. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kaufman swings and misses, and down he goes. So it's strikeout swinging for Brett Phillips. And 2 away now for Josh Williams. One of the advantages for this Blackfins team that we'll talk a little bit more about is they have hardly used their bullpen at all, whereas GPS has used their bullpen to the tune of 8 innings so far. But if Brett Phillips continues to deal like this, they might not need much of their bullpen at all tonight. Josh Williams is the batter, and he chops one foul over toward the first base dugout. And the count to Williams is 0-1. 95-mile-an-hour fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Little flare over toward the third base dugout and in it. And still alive is Williams. 1 ball and 2 strikes. "13 hits in 2 games for the Blackfins. That's not bad, but they've only scored in this tournament. 3 runs. Pitch is high for a ball. And now, 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Nobody on with 2 away. Top of the first inning, nothing. And Brett Phillips to Josh Williams. And a swing and a miss. And Brett Phillips not only strikes out the side, he gets them all swinging. And a good start for him. So a 1-2-3. Top half of the first for Seattle. GPS will get their crack in the first in a moment. A 0-0 score at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
I'm bougie. I'm like $7 bougie.
The all-new $7 deal lovers menu at Pizza Hut. Choose your $7 faves 7 days a week.
Because it's only a deal if you love it.
No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Ready for the bottom of the first inning as the Seattle Blackfins went 1-2-3 with 3 strikeouts swinging, and we have gotten confirmation that the GPS pitcher is indeed former major leaguer Brett Phillips, who is now pitching for GPS, and he just struck out the side to set the tone for his team, and now they will try to get up and score some runs themselves in a 0-0 tie. It'll be Cooper Knight, Dayton Talkie, and Luke Bannister, the top 3 hitters for GPS. We apologize, didn't get a chance to set the lineups when we came on, but those are the 3 that will get us started here. And Christian Herrera is the right-handed pitcher for this Seattle team, and the first pitch to Cooper Knight is in there for a strike, and there's some gas as well at 84, not what Brett Phillips was throwing, but it's 0-1 to Cooper Knight, who's having a very good tournament. But he'll start off with a ground ball to second base here, and he's retired. So a 4-3 putout. That's the first ball in play we've seen tonight, and 1 away for Dayton Talkie. Christian Herrera, one of the older players in this tournament, the pitcher for the Blackfins, as he last pitched collegiately 6 years ago in 2018 at New Mexico Highlands. And that season, he only pitched in 10 games as the first pitch to Dayton Talkie is ripped into right field. That's a base hit. So GPS comes out swinging, and with 1 out, a runner aboard on a Dayton Talkie well-struck single to right field. Runner at first, 1 away. So here comes Luke Bannister now, the catcher for GPS. This is the second appearance for GPS in this tournament, or excuse me, the third. They've won just 1 game in 6 total. They are 1-5. Last year they were in the tournament and they went 0-3. A ball and no strikes to Bannister. GPS also has lost to the Santa Barbara Foresters 2-0. That game was on Friday. They fell to Hayesville 7-6. So each of these teams has played the same 2 teams, and they've lost close games, both of them. This one is driven high and deep toward left field, but it's going to hook and go foul and out of play. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luke Bannister. Christian Herrera, 14 innings in 2018, his last season pitching collegiately at New Mexico Highlands. He didn't factor in a decision. The pitch is down low, and the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He gave up 14 hits in 14 innings, walked 17, and only struck out 7. And his earned run average was 6.43. The 2-2 lined into center field, and coming on is the center fielder Ryan Jeffrey, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Paxton Bigby is the first baseman for the Blackfins. Brody Gunther is at second base. Vibe Desai is the shortstop, and Harrison Kaufman is over at third. The outfield from left to right, Jeffrey Perrin, Ryan Jeffrey, and Josh Williams. Mike Snyder is catching the balls and strikes of right-hander Christian Herrera, who works out of the stretch. And now bunting is Randy Cardenas, and he's going to reach safely up the third baseline. Boy, the element of surprise right there. Cardenas lays one down beautifully up the third baseline, and that likely will be a base hit. Kaufman came in charging, trying to barehand that one and couldn't cleanly, but that's a tough play, and indeed it will be a base hit. So on at first base is Randy Cardenas. Taki is down at second base now. So first and second, with 2 outs for Trace Mazan, the first baseman. And the pitch to Mazan is swung on, and a bouncing ball over to third. And Kaufman is just going to tag Taki out on his way to third for a 5 unassisted to retire the side. So a couple of base hits for GPS, but that's all. They leave 2 in the bottom of the first inning. After 1, no score from the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
With Butler having such a small class size, everybody had a voice in the classroom. Everybody was able to participate. To this day, there are students that I took classes with 10 years ago that I could pick up the phone and call. That's how much the community at Butler has affected the way I even do my business today. When I went to another college to try it out, I was just a number. They didn't even know my name. Butler's class sizes are smaller. That's where you get that community feel. And cost-wise, a lot cheaper.
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices, each just $3 or less. Starring the cheesy double beef burrito. Double the seasoned beef, all the cheesiness, and so much craveable flavor. Get it on the Cravings Value Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Well, a quick first inning as the Seattle Blackfins went 1-2-3, and then a couple of base hits for GPS in the bottom of the first inning, but they couldn't bring anything around. And now GPS has already gone to the bullpen for left-hander Cameron Williams, who is a tall lefty, 6'1", 185 pounds, attending Bossier Parish, where he is pitching collegiately. So he is on after Brett Phillips sent down the side in order and struck out the side, swinging in order. But Phillips's day is done, and boy, that's a shame just to see a former major leaguer come out and a guy that played in the outfield to come throw like that. Would have loved to have seen him play some more. There's a great Brett Phillips story, too, if you've never seen it or heard about it. When he played for the Tampa Bay Rays, Phillips befriended a young girl who was going through cancer, and she actually ended up getting to come to a game and meet him, and I think he gave her some gifts and things like that, and he hit a home run that night, and he dedicated that to her. I think she'd even maybe asked him to hit a home run for her. Well, he did, and after the game he was interviewed on the field and got pretty emotional. It's a neat story, probably from about 3 or 4 years ago. I'm sure you can find it online, but that's the Brett Phillips, we are told, that is here tonight. He's not on the roster again, so I apologize, but it's really a neat story. Here we go, inning number 2, and Vabe Desai leads things off for the Seattle Blackfins, and he is up there from the right side of the plate. He's got the only home run in this tournament for the Blackfins. He is facing Cameron Williams, the southpaw for GPS, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch. He tried to check his swing on a slider, and he did hold up. So the count is 2 balls and a strike. That one misses, and it's now 3-1. Desai's home run was Friday in the 3-1 loss to Hayesville, and it was the only run scored by the Blackfins that night. The count's now full at 3-2. Cameron Williams, the pitcher for GPS out of Round Rock, Texas, that is just north of Austin. And there's strike 3 called, and Desai thought it was ball 4. He was heading up the first baseline like he thought it was a walk, and instead, down he goes. And that is 4 batters at the plate for Seattle and 4 strikeouts. The first one looking, boy, they are not having any success against this GPS pitching. Here's Jeffrey Perrin, and he will try to get a successful crack at him, and the first pitch is taken for a ball 1-0. Perrin's having a nice tournament. He's 3 for 4. He hasn't started a game until today, but because of his 3 for 4 start, he was given the nod, and we'll see if he makes the most of the start. The count is even at a ball and a strike. Another swing and a miss. That one was at 90. Cameron Williams' heat is not that of Brett Phillips, but it's still some of the best heat we've seen in this tournament. This one is swung on, and that'll be a base hit. Jeffrey Perrin does make the most of getting the start tonight, his first in 3 games. A single to center field, the first base runner for the Blackfins. So 1 out and a runner at first for Paxton Bigby, the first baseman. It's really a shame that this Blackfins team is 0-2 because they've gotten some very good pitching as Bigby takes the ball down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. In their 3-1 loss to Hayesville Friday, they gave up 2 runs in the first and 1 in the third, and nothing for Hayesville after that. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Bigby. Then Saturday against Santa Barbara, the Foresters scored 2 runs in the first 2 innings and did not score again until the 11th when they won it 3-2. So some very, very good Blackfins pitching, but they've just not had the hitting to back it up, and that's why they're down now. No wins and 2 losses. But still a chance to advance with a win tonight. There's a strike taken, and again, Bigby was on his way to first. He thought he was about to draw a 4-pitch walk. Instead, it's called a strike. Bob Davis is the home plate umpire. Josh Shepis is over at first. Ethan McCraney is the third base umpire. And there is ball 4, down and away. So a 1-out walk. Down to second base goes Perrin, and Bigby makes his way to first. So Indy Anderson is up now, and he's the designated hitter for Seattle, who also has come off the bench in both games so far, and he is getting his first start of this tournament. First, there's a conversation out on the hill for GPS. They're coached by Daryl Reeves. Matt Hartgrove, Matt Mazak, and Brandon Puffer are the assistants. Conversation is over out on the mound. And in steps Anderson from the right side of the plate. Anderson is from Seattle, out of Shoreline Community College, which a handful of players are on this team, and he takes a big rip right there and misses. The count is 0-1. Second appearance in a row for the Blackfins. They went 1-2 in pool play last year. That did qualify them for the elimination round, where they lost in the opening round. So they went 1-3 overall in their first appearance in this tournament last year. So this makes it 2 straight trips. Still looking for their first win of the 2024 trip to the NBC. Chopped foul at the plate. It's a little confusing with the similarly colored jerseys. GPS is wearing dark jerseys, though, with red numbers. And Seattle, there you can see in the dark jerseys with the aqua blue or turquoise, maybe, lettering and numbers. Beautiful slider dropped in there perfectly for yet another strikeout. Anderson goes down. That is 5 strikeouts in 7 batters that have stepped up to the plate so far for Seattle. So now here's Mike Snyder. Snyder is up there from the right side of the plate with a pretty wide open stance. Takes a strike, and boy, is this GPS team have some pitchers throwing strikes net right now. First it was Brett Phillips, and now Snyder. Or excuse me, Cameron Williams. Another strike, 0-2. Nobody holding the runners on with 2 outs, and the infield playing back. They'll take a force at any base. 0-2, and the pitch tight for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is all artificial surface here at X Stadium. No dirt on this field. You see brown between the bases, and that's actually artificial surface that's made to look like dirt. The pitch is a ball. They're trying to double steal, and that won't work, as Luke Bannister guns down Perrin at third base for a 2-5, caught stealing, and the side retired. So Seattle gets a little risky there with 2 outs, and they come up empty, and down they go. After 1.5, it's GPS nothing, Seattle nothing at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
There's something happening in Wichita. Excitement, movement, a vibe. A city that offers amazing experiences delivered with heart. From arts to attractions, nightlife to sports, you feel the energy at every turn. A little fancy, a little funky, but always friendly. Come see the place we love. We think you'll love it too. Discover more at visitwichita.com.
Whether you're preparing a perfect meal, getting people back on the road, protecting online privacy, or supporting your patient's health, you want to be the best professional in your field. At Butler Community College, our focus is getting you the highly specialized and versatile training needed to start your career in as little as a year. Our classroom experiences are fine-tuned by industry professionals. You'll launch into the workforce with the confidence and skills to make you stand out from the rest. Butler Community College. Real college. Really affordable.
Good pitchers battle so far in this do-or-die game for these two teams. The Blackfins of Seattle and the GPS Legends both trying to move on to the elimination round of this 90th NBC World Series. Both teams 0-2. One of them will move to 1-2 and move on to elimination play. The other will go home after tonight. That's basically what's at stake. So it's Riley Leninger that will lead things off for GPS here in the bottom of inning number 2, and he is 1 for 7 in this tournament. The first pitch to Leninger is swung on. He'll first pitch swing and bounce one slowly over to first, and it'll be Bigby, an underhand toss to Herrera for a 3-1 putout, and 1 away. So 1 quick out, and now Jackson Rainey will step in. Rainey is the center fielder. In pool play in this tournament, in case you're not aware, there are 4 pools, each with 4 teams. The top 3 in each pool advance to elimination play. Santa Barbara, as Rainey takes a strike, 0-1. Santa Barbara and Hayesville are in to the next round, and then one of these 2 teams will be the 3rd team that's in. 81, a pitch high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rainey. So whichever of these 2 teams wins this game will be at 1-2 in pool play and move on. The other will again head home, as this one is ripped foul down the right side over the bullpen. Foul ground down the right field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jackson Rainey, who has gone 1 for 4 in each of the 2 games so far. Just outside, that one at 80 miles an hour, and he's taking, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. One fouled and out of play, and it's still 2-2. Back-to-back Jacksons for GPS this inning. Jackson Rainey Here, Jackson Todd, the left fielder, waits on deck. As that one is in low for a ball, and it's now full at 3-2. 2 hits for GPS in the first inning. They could do nothing with them. Trying to get something started here, and this one is sent deep to right field and back farther is Josh Williams right in front of the wall, and he makes the catch. A little bit off balance as he approached the track, and right in front of the fence, Josh Williams hauls in a long fly ball to right field as he had to move back to his right a little bit towards center field as he was backing up, and a nice job to reach out and grab that one. And a long out number 2 is Jackson Rainey to right field. So 2 outs now for Jackson Todd, the left fielder. And Todd takes high and away for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. The wind probably played with that. When I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, it was blowing out of the south, and that's definitely the direction that Josh Williams had to adjust to. He had to move towards center field a little bit there at the end, and that's the direction the wind is blowing, and probably as high as that was, it got a hold of it pretty good. 2 hopper to first, Bigby, and he steps on the bag, and the side retired in order. A 1-2-3 for GPS in the second. After 2, we are scoreless at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Whether you're preparing a perfect meal, getting people back on the road, protecting online privacy, or supporting your patient's health, you want to be the best professional in your field. At Butler Community College, our focus is getting you the highly specialized and versatile training needed to start your career in as little as a year. Our classroom experiences are fine-tuned by industry professionals. You'll launch into the workforce with the confidence and skills to make you stand out from the rest. Butler Community College. Real college. Really affordable.
Ready for the third inning in a scoreless game. The GPS Legends and Seattle's Blackfins, and there you see the 2 teams playing right now are both at 0-2. Santa Barbara and Hayesville have already moved on. The winner of this one will be the 3rd team out of Pool B to move on to elimination play. That will start, and we go all the way through Saturday's championship round of this tournament. What a fun tournament it always is. Folks at the NBC and the Wichita Sports Commission doing such an outstanding job of putting on this tournament. And another good one for number 90. Here is Mike Snyder to lead things off for the Blackfins here in the start of the 3rd inning. Two balls and no strikes, the count to to Snyder, and now the count is 3-0 as Cameron Williams having trouble finding the zone. That one's in for a strike, and 3-1. Seattle had something brewing in the last half inning. They had 2 runners on and tried to double steal with 2 outs, but that came to a screeching halt on a caught stealing at third base. But here, Mike Snyder a leadoff single, and maybe that'll start something again for the Blackfins. So for the first time tonight, the leadoff hitter is aboard for them, and now Brody Gunther, the second baseman, will step in. Gunther is due. He is 0 for 5 in the tournament so far. And he's bunting here, and it's a good one out in front of the plate. And the only throw will be to first base. Nicely done for a 2-3 sacrifice. But down to second base goes Snyder on the sacrifice, and 1 away. It's not the easiest thing to do on this all artificial surface field. Lay down a bunt that's well placed, but that one was. So back to the top of the order we go now with Ryan Jeffrey. Jeffrey was one of 3 Blackfins to get sent down swinging by Brett Phillips to start the game. inside edge. And the count is quickly 0-2. Nobody holding the runner on out at second, and the pitch. And that one was a changeup, and offering and missing was Jeffrey, and he goes down swinging for the second time today. So 2 outs now for Harrison Kaufman, the third baseman. Harrison Kaufman playing collegiately at St. Bonaventure, where he had a really nice season this past year. But he's going to ground out to first here. A slow roller to Trace Mazan at first. He'll step on the bag for a 3 unassisted. And after a leadoff single, nothing doing for Seattle in the top of the third inning. After 2.5, Seattle nothing, GPS nothing at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Evergy, we're focused not just on what we power, but on who we power, right here in our community. We provide payment assistance to our neighbors who need it. Invest in organizations and people, creating opportunity for all to benefit. And volunteer our time around our hometown so that together we improve it. Because we're committed to spreading good energy throughout our community. Evergy, the utility company.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
Ready now for the bottom of the third inning from Wichita. In this do-or-die game for the GPS Legends and the Seattle Blackfins. And the Blackfins of Seattle have gone to the bullpen now as they've called on Cameron Blowers, who is going to pitch for Seattle. And the first batter he'll face is Paul Samaripa, who takes the first pitch and sends it fouling out of play, 0-1. He works from the stretch, and the pitch is up high for a ball. The count is 1-1. Well, I have number 30, Cameron Blowers, on my roster for Seattle as number 30, but it also shows him as a left-handed pitcher, so if that's not him, I apologize. 2 balls and a strike. I do know that Paul Samaripa is the shortstop and batting right now for GPS. He takes a fastball at 84 miles an hour that's outside, and the count's now 3 balls and a strike. And that one down and away, ball 4, so Samaripa heads down to first base in a leadoff walk. First time tonight now for GPS. They've got their leadoff hitter aboard. So the third inning was the inning for both teams to get their leadoff hitter aboard for the first time. Seattle couldn't capitalize in the top of the inning, and now GPS, we'll see if they can here in the bottom half of inning number 9. Or excuse me, number 3. And the pitch down and away as we go back to the top of the order to Cooper Knight. I mentioned, although I didn't have much time, when Knight was up the first time, he's had a very nice tournament, 4 for 8 to start play tonight. He did ground out to second, so he's now 4 for 9 as he takes down and away. But Sunday he was 3 for 5 with 2 runs batted in and 2 RBIs. Or excuse me, 2 runs scored, I beg your pardon. Two balls and no strikes. He had a double yesterday as well. So 3 for 5 with a double, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Pitch catches the inside edge. It's now 3 balls and a strike. Right-handed hitter is Knight, and here comes the 3-1. He's showing bunt, and that's ball 4. And down to first base goes Knight. So Knight draws the bases on balls, and that's back-to-back walks issued here in the inning by GPS pitching, and that's going to get a conversation started out on the mound. And again, Cameron Blowers is who we have as number 30 for Seattle, but we also have him as a left-handed pitcher, so don't know that that's him or not. Christian Herrera we had starting the game, and he's listed as number 35. Nonetheless, back-to-back walks to start the bottom half of inning number 3. So now GPS has something cooking here early, and Dayton Taki will step in. He singled back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Excuse me, 1 for 1. 2 for 4 in the tournament he is. And that one, a slider that comes back and catches the outside edge for a strike, 0-1. Taki did not play on Friday, then have the 1 for 3 day yesterday, and then the single in the first inning here. This one is swung on and sliced and out of play. And the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes now, the count to Taki. Knight the runner at second, Samaripa's over at first. Both of them drew walks to start the inning. And this one high and away for a ball, and the count is now 1-2. Infield not holding either of the runners on. They'd like to see a ground ball double play. The pitch is chopped foul, and the count remains 1-2. Outside, and the count is now even at 2-2. Hesitant to call him Blowers, not certain that that's who this is.
There you go.
But he stretches and delivers, and this one is sent very deep to center field. Ryan Jeffrey going back, and this one's going to bang off the fence, and it's going to score 2 closely together runners. Knight comes in first, and right behind him, Samaripa on a very deep double to center field by Dayton Taki, and GPS has jumped out in front. It's 2-0. Well, that one was to the power alley near the 375 sign in right center field, and Ryan Jeffrey was playing fairly shallow, and that one banged off the wall about halfway up it. Taki didn't miss much of getting a home run that would have made the score 3-0, but nonetheless, GPS does lead 2-0. And now here's Luke Bannister swinging and missing at the first pitch he sees. It's 0-1. But a 2-0 start on a 2 RBI double by Taki, and now Bannister sends one to second on the ground. That will get the runner over to third. So Bannister, a 4-3 putout for out number 1. But that worked like a bunt, is down to third base goes Dayton Taki. So a runner at third now with 1 out for Randy Cardenas. Cardenas had a beautifully laid bunt down the third base line to single back in the first inning. He takes down and away for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. The infield for the Blackfins is in. It's only in the third inning, but I think based on what we've seen from the pitchers, this has the feel of what could be a close, low-scoring game, and Seattle feeling like they can ill afford to give up many more the way that the pitching has gone for this GPS team so far. And the pitch is swung on and fouled, backing out of play. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cardenas. Cardenas was 1 for 4 yesterday, and then the bunt single here tonight. So 2 for 5 he is in the tournament. And make it 3 for 6 as he sends one to right field. That'll be an RBI single. In comes Taki to score, and it's now a 3-0 Seattle lead. Or excuse me, GPS. Well, he didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it and muscled it up into right field for the base hit. Now a runner at first with 1 out for Trace Mizan after the RBI single for Cardenas. Mizan grounded to third into a fielder's choice his first time up. Harrison Kaufman, the third baseman, just touched Cardenas on his way to third. This one is chopped up the first baseline, and scooping it up off the turf is the pitcher, who will underhand to first. But it looks like they've called that a foul ball, so everybody will retreat. Mizan back to the plate. Cardenas, well, no, I beg your pardon. They called time at the end of that play. They motioned timeout, and I thought they had said that was a foul ball. It's the same hand gesture, but it was a 1-3 put out for out number 2. I apologize. So 2 outs now for Riley Leninger. There goes the runner to third, and there's nobody home, and so the throw gets there a little bit late, and safe with the stolen base is going to be Cardenas. Well, Harrison Kaufman was playing well off the bag at third, and alertly Cardenas and maybe the coaching staff for GPS picked up on that, and Cardenas swiped third, and Kaufman got there a little bit late and then couldn't handle the throw when he did. So a runner at third with 2 outs now for Leninger, who takes down low for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. And there for a strike, 2-1. A couple of hops to first. Bigby is there. He'll step on the bag for a 3 unassisted. And the side retired, but not before. GPS scores 3 times. The big blow, the 2 RBI double by Dayton Taki, who also scored a run. He was responsible partly for all 3 runs. And it's 3-0 GPS as we head to the 4th at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Davis Moore, we make sure there's something for everyone at each of our locations. We stock vehicles spanning almost every make and model. We're confident you will find exactly what you're looking for. Every vehicle on our lot has passed our 171-point inspection to ensure safety and reliability. Customer service is our top priority, and our friendly and expert staff will guide you through the process every step of the way. Come shop Wichita's best selection of used cars at any one of our locations, or check us out online at davis-moore.com.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
Well, Seattle has spotted GPS 3 runs as we start inning number 4, and it's Josh Williams, the number 3 hitter in the order, that will lead things off for the Blackfins. Seattle with 2 hits on the night. Now they trail by 3 runs. And the first pitch from Cameron Williams is a slow slider that's in for a strike. 0-1 to Williams. Big swing and a miss there. Williams was swinging for the fences and comes up empty. And he's quickly down in the count, 0-2. Williams struck out his first time up. In fact, the first 3 hitters in the order for Seattle are 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. That one was close. And the count's even at 2-2. There is strike 3. Williams down swinging for the second time today, and now the top 3 in the order for Seattle are 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts. So 1 away now for Vebay Desai. He takes for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Desai led off the second inning, and he was caught looking. .86-mile-an-hour fastball in on the edge for a strike, 1-1. He was the first batter that Cameron Williams faced when he came into the game in the second inning, and Desai sends this one high to left field. It is slicing and it's carrying, and Rainey's going back, and it's going to bounce off the fence near the track. And Desai is going to motor into second base with a double. Well, between the wind and the slice on that one really was drawing away from Jackson Rainey in center field, who not only had to go back but move over toward left center field and just couldn't get there quick enough. As you can see, he was going back and to his right, but that one just kept carrying. And then it hit on the warning track, caromed off the fence, and an easy stand-up double for Desai. So he's at second now for Jeffrey Perrin. A swing and a miss there at 85 miles an hour. It's 0-1. So Vebay Desai now has a home run and a double in this tournament. He's been a real source of power for this team. They need all they can get right now. It's been a struggle getting runs for Seattle. 3 hits this evening so far, but nothing to show for it in the run column. And they trail 3-0. Chopper to third, Leninger charging in, he'll field and fire. And there's a 5-3 putout, and out number 2. So 2 outs now for Paxton Bigby, the first baseman. Bigby walked his first time up. He is 2 for 8 in the tournament. Mentioned that there's a handful of players on this Blackfins team from Shoreline Community College, and he's one of them, out of Snohomish, Washington. Pitch fouled and away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Home plate umpire Bob Davis comes out and delivers a new baseball to Cameron Williams. Something was going on back there behind home plate. It looked like a little conversation with Luke Bannister, the catcher, and Bob Davis, the home plate umpire. Here we go, the pitch. And a changeup that was way inside, and the count's 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs, runner at second. 3-0. GPS with the lead here in the top of the 4th inning. Seattle trying to get the offense going, and the pitch, that'll help. Liner up the middle, that's a base hit. Desai is going to round third, and they're going to put the brakes on as the throw comes home. That's an interesting decision. With 2 outs, Seattle is going to stop Desai at third base. And the ball was fielded in shallow center field, but this is a Seattle team that is really struggling to score runs. They've scored a total of 3 runs in 2 games. They're moving toward the bottom of the order. And an interesting decision there. We'll see if it ends up working out for them. The First pitch to Indy Anderson is on the inside part of the plate for a strike, 0-1. Pitch chopped at the plate, foul. Vibe Desai, the runner at third, who is rounding third, looks like he has pretty good speed. This is the first time I've seen him. He's also a shortstop, and normally they run with pretty good speed. Can't say that for certain about him. So a very interesting decision with 2 outs to hold him at third when your team is struggling to score. There goes the runner from first to second, and he's going to stand in easily. Cameron Williams would rather do that than turn around and try and get involved in a rundown that would allow Desai to score. So Bigby down to second base he goes, and 2 in scoring position now for Seattle. And the count is 0-2 at the plate to Indy Anderson. And that one bounces in, it gets by, and the run's going to score anyway. Here comes Desai from third. And it's going to be a 3-1 score. That was actually strike 3, but the ball bounced in, and so you've got to throw the batter runner out at first base. No chance of that. And a run is in. It's 3-1. And down to third base also goes Paxton Bigby. So Desai scores. And Bigby's at third. Mike Snyder, the batter now. This one dribbles away from Luke Bannister, but not far enough. One ball and no strikes with runners at the corners and 2 outs. The pitch, sliced foul right side. That one lands in the stands, and it's 1-1. Pool play wraps up tomorrow, then on to elimination rounds starting on Wednesday as the pitch outside for a ball. A changeup misses at 77. It's 2 balls and a strike. The winner of this game will advance to the elimination rounds. The loser will be done. Another off speed. That went in there for a strike. And the count's now 2-2. Now Williams steps off the rubber and moves back behind it, and now ready to re-engage. Bigby, the runner at third, and Anderson's over at first. The pitch, line foul right side. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and 2 on. We'll try it again. Brody Gunther, the number 9 hitter in the order for Seattle, waits on deck. Snyder will have to get aboard. And now he's 1 ball perhaps away from doing that. The count's now full, 3-2. This is a very big pitch in the game, 3-2. The runner at first, Anderson, will be going. There he goes, the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled at the plate. And boy, did he, Snyder, just barely get a piece of that one. So Anderson will retreat and will try it again. And I mean, Snyder just barely scraped that one. Snyder's 3rd inning base hit was his 2nd of the tournament. He's 2 for 7. And this one is low, ball 4. And now they are loaded up. So down to first base goes Snyder. He draws the walk, and Anderson makes his way to second. So the number 9 hitter in the order is up now for Seattle in Brody Gunther, and he's got a chance to help his team at least pull even. That one sails over his head, though, and he's got to duck out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. .86 miles an hour. That one catches the zone. It's 1-1. Cameron Williams just reared back and fired after having some control issues. And he does it again, but he took something off. That one a change at 73. So the last couple of pitches, Williams seems to be better dialed in. High bouncing ball out near the bag at second. This is going to be a tough play, and there will not be a play. And a run scores, and it's 3-2. Well, I was just noticing Cooper Knight at second base was playing very, very deep. He was beyond the brown part of the turf in what we would normally call the outfield grass, except this isn't grass, but nonetheless, he was playing really far back and had a long way to run for that slow bouncing ball, and he just didn't get there in time to do much of anything. So on at first base is Gunther, and now here's Ryan Jeffrey, and Jeffrey takes low for a ball, 1-0. So it's an RBI single for Gunther. Big B scores, and down to third, Anderson. Mike Snyder is safe at second base as well, so they're still loaded. And Jeffrey takes outside, and he's ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. So a nice job by Seattle. They've put up 2 so far after they saw GPS put 3 up in the bottom half of the last inning. The pitch. Bouncing ball over to short. Fielded cleanly there by Samaripa. He'll underhand toss tonight at the bag for a 6-4 putout in the side, retired, but not before Seattle answers with 2 back. And after 3.5, it's GPS 3 and Seattle 2 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices, each just $3 or less. Starring the cheesy double beef burrito. Double the seasoned beef, all the cheesiness, and so much craveable flavor. Get it on the Cravings Value Menu, only at Taco Bell.
There's something happening in Wichita. Excitement, movement, a vibe. A city that offers amazing experiences delivered with heart. From arts to attractions, nightlife to sports, you feel the energy at every turn. A little fancy, a little funky, but always friendly. Come see the place we love. We think you'll love it too. Discover more at visitwichita.com.
The Seattle Blackfins just got within 1 run in the top half of the inning, and now they're going to go to the bullpen and look for a shutdown inning from Rodney Corsi, who is going to come on in relief. And now he will try and quiet the GPS bats. So Corsi is on. He's out of Edmond, Washington, 6'3", 190 pounds, attending Linfield College, and he is hoping that this GPS team that scored 3 in the third will cool off some here in the bottom half of inning number 4 of what now is a 3-2 game. There's a good look at Corsi. Final game of the night here on this Monday. And then we'll get started again at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Although you may want to check the NBC website because of the extremely hot weather we're having around here. They've altered the schedule some, so you might want to stay tuned to the NBC social media pages or their website for any schedule changes, as we did hit the triple-digit mark today, and that's expected to happen again tomorrow and Wednesday as well. Jackson Rainey is one of only 2 GPS legends not to hit in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and he will lead things off here. He's 0 for 1, having flown out to right field. Robley Corsi's first pitch to him is lined the other way, and that's going to get down. That'll be a base hit. So the first pitch that Corsi throws is deposited into left field on an opposite field single for Jackson Rainey. And he's aboard to start the bottom half of inning number 4. Now here's Jackson Todd. Jackson Todd's got to feel like he's overdue. He is 0 for 6 at the plate in the tournament. He's bunting here to try to get the runner over. Instead, he fouls it back, and That one either got I think that got a piece of Bob Davis, the home plate umpire, you can see there, saying he's all right. And here's another look at it. At first I thought it caught the catcher's gear. No, it caught Davis right on the face guard, and that's why they wear it. Fortunately, he is fine. Todd grounded out to second to end the bottom of the second inning. He grounded out to first to end the bottom of the second inning, I should say. Corsi will work from the stretch. Cheating in from third is Kaufman in the pitch. And that one is a ball, and the count is now even at 1-1. At 78, that one misses outside. Now Harrison Kaufman continues to cheat in. I'm not sure if he thinks there might be a bunt play here. Bigby is holding the runner on at first. Up the middle, they're playing at normal depth looking for the double play. There goes the runner, hit and run is on. The pitch is swung on to left field, and Perron is going over toward the line, and he makes the catch. Nicely done by Jeffrey Perron, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning, and back to first base goes Jackson Rainey. So a fly out to left field, one away for Paul Samaripa. Samaripa walked and scored back in the third inning. He scored on Dayton Taki's 2 RBI double. He swings and misses here, and it's 0-1. This one is through on the right side. That'll be a base hit. Stopping at second is Rainey, and Samaripa out of the 9 spot with a base hit to right, and he's been aboard both times tonight, a walk and a single. So good production out of the bottom of the lineup for GPS, and that'll flip it back to the top with Cooper Knight. Josh Williams, the right fielder for Seattle, was playing very shallow, so no chance for Jackson Rainey to think about going to third. And the pitch tonight is sliced down the left side, and that's going to tail out of play. And it's 0-1 to Cooper Knight. Paxton Bigby over at first base is just about even with the bag. The other 3 infielders are playing deep and looking for a double play. Here's the pitch. It's bunted up the third base side. Some indecisiveness now by Corsi, and nobody's going to field the ball until everybody's safe. What a beautifully placed bunt that was, that time by Knight. And to make matters worse for Seattle is Corsi started charging after the ball, then he sort of gave up on it. I think he thought that Kaufman, the third baseman, was charging in. Watch him again. Corsi right there starts at it and then just sort of gave up, or maybe he was taking a wrong angle, I'm not sure, but whatever the case, a perfect bunt by Knight, and they are loaded now for GPS here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Dayton Taki is up now. And Taki takes a changeup outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So Rainey's down at third, Samaripa's at second. Knight, after the base hit on the bunt, is over at first for Taki, who's already got a 2 RBI double to his credit, and now a bouncing ball here could get a run home. A throw will go to second, but that's all. A run does score, and that's an RBI for Taki, his 3rd of the game on the fielder's choice. Rainey scores, and it's 4-2, GPS with the lead. Well, even on this artificial surface, that was entirely too slow to give Seattle any chance to turn a double play. So Rainey comes in to score. Samaripa's down at third. And Cooper Knight's retired 4-6 for out number 2. Now Luke Bannister will try to keep the inning alive for GPS, leading by 2, 4-2. And he barely gets a piece of the first offering, and it's no balls and a strike. Down and away for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Horsey stretches. Bigby holding the runner on at first. Nobody holding the runner on at third as this one is swung on and fouled, back and out of play. One ball and 2 strikes is the count. There goes the runner from first, and the pitch swung on and lifted on the infield. High, towering fly ball. And the shortstop Desai is calling for it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. But another run scores for GPS in the 4th, and they lead by 2. Legends 4, Blackfins 2 at the 90th NBC World Series as we get ready for the 5th. Back in a moment.
And I administered in this very class. Wait. Jay was drawing something up.
I really hope it's like this everywhere, but I also really believe that it's special to Butler. Like, I feel like once you come in, it's a culture. Like, they really want their students to succeed. For me, talking to somebody that has come from a position like me where they were out of the game for a long time, it can change your life. It changed my whole path. Like, I felt like at Butler, I found my people.
To the 5th inning we go from Wichita on a nice, lightly breezy Monday evening. It's the GPS Legends 4 and the Blackfins of Seattle 2. One of these two teams will move on to elimination play, and the other's 2024 NBC World Series will come to an end. And so far, by 2, it's an advantage for GPS, who is not only outscored Seattle by 2 runs, but they've also outhit them by 2 as well, 7-5, as you see on the line score. Seattle sent 8 batters up to the plate in the top of the 4th inning. The only player that didn't step up to the plate in the 4th will lead off the 5th, and that's third baseman Harrison Kaufman. So it'll be Kaufman, Josh Williams, and Vibe Desai. 2, 3, and 4 for the Blackfins here in the inning as they trail by 2 runs. In the meantime, GPS is going with a new pitcher who seems to be getting a lot of warm-ups here between innings. And that is Trent Chenard. Chenard is a 6'4", 175-pounder out of Katy, Texas, who is playing collegiately at Warner, and it's almost as if there was an injury or something. He's getting a lot of time between innings. And he still has 2 more warm-up tosses to go. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Legends, and 2 runs on 6 hits for Seattle. So here we go, ready to start the 5th inning. And Harrison Kaufman will step in from the right side of the plate. He is 0 for 2 tonight, as the top 3 continue to struggle for this Seattle team. So far, the top 3 are 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts. And that's going to change. A leadoff single for Harrison Kaufman. So that'll get things started in the top of the 5th inning. A good start for Seattle. A team desperately looking for offense, and they get some to lead off the 5th inning here with a Harrison Kaufman base hit. That is his 2nd hit of the tournament. And 10 at bats, and now right fielder Josh Williams will make his way to the plate. And there's another guy that they need to get going. He's out of the 3-hole, but 2 hits in the tournament. He's 2 for 10, and his 2 at bats tonight, both strikeouts swinging. Chenard from the stretch delivers. And he throws some heat. That one is at 92, but down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, you've probably heard the term tall and lanky, and that certainly is something that describes Chenard, as there's a swing and a miss by Williams. 2 balls and a strike. Again, 6'4", 175. Kaufman gets his lead at first. And Chenard will stretch and deliver. Good looking pitch there. And Bob Davis barks out strike, and it's now 2-2. Bouncing ball to the right side. Diving to his right is Mazan. He gets a glove on it. Then a nice flip over to the bag at second base. Where Samaripa is for a 3-6 play. And they do get the lead runner. And that's a great job by Mazan. Moving to his right and not letting that one get behind him. And kept it in front of him. Then just flipped it over to the bag at second base, where Samaripa was covering. So Kaufman retired, 3-6 for the first out of the inning, and Williams reaches on a fielder's choice. And now here's Vibe Desai, who had a big double his last time up. And by big, I mean it was a high towering fly ball to the deepest part of the ballpark, in between the 375 sign in the power alley and the 390 sign in straightaway center field. He knocked one. That was an inning ago, and he later scored one of 2 runs in the inning. So he is 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. He's got 3 hits in the tournament, and 2 of them are extra base hits. He had a home run over the weekend and then a double tonight. Three balls and a strike now. The count to Desai. That one is high, ball 4, and Desai draws the 1-out walk. So he'll trot down to first, and Williams heads to second base. Runners at first and second for Seattle for Jeffrey Perrin now, and he represents the go-ahead run. There is some activity down in the GPS bullpen. Luke Bannister is actually out to talk to his pitcher, and you wonder if that's to buy a little time for those warming up down in the bullpen. So Bannister back behind the plate, and we're ready to go. Trent Chenard, I mentioned he's listed as attending Warner. He actually pitched in the state of Kansas this past year at Dodge City Community College. And the pitch, a soft liner to second, snared by Cooper Knight. He'll throw to first, and they got the double play. What a nice job that time for the double play. And just like that, the side retired. as he went leaping in the air, and I beg your pardon, throw is to second, as you can obviously see. Nonetheless, a 4-6, and just like that, Seattle's potential threat comes to a close on the 4-6 lineout for a double play. So no runs for Seattle in the inning on a hit, and they leave a couple. We'll head to the 6th, or the bottom of the 5th. It is the GPS Legends 4, Seattle 2 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
I'm bougie. I'm like $7 bougie.
The all-new $7 deal lovers menu at Pizza Hut. Choose your $7 faves 7 days a week.
Because it's only a deal if you love it.
No one out-pizzas the Hut.
So here's Trace Mazan now, the first baseman. First pitch to Mazan. And that's a change that catches the outer edge at 78 miles an hour. And it's 0-1 to Mazan. Mazan is 0 for 2. He grounded into a fielder's choice and bounced one back to the pitcher. Robley Corsi is out there for his second inning of work for the Seattle Blackfins, and working out of the stretch right now. Corsi played collegiately at Shoreline Community College, another of the Blackfins that did, and he actually was a two-way player. He was a pitcher, but also had some time playing in the field and hitting as well. The 0-2 is driven to deep left field. This one is back, and this one is going to bounce a while all the way to the fence. Then it caroms off the top edge of the fence and over it for a ground rule double. That's a tough break for GPS because Cardenas would have easily scored rounding third base. Instead, he only gets 2 and has to stop at third. But that's a double for Trace Mazan, and now 2 in scoring position for GPS here in the bottom of the 5th inning. He hit that one on a line, and then it bounced off the top edge of the fence and on over it. And so a ground rule double, and in comes the infield again for Seattle. The Blackfins are trailing 4-2, and now a golden opportunity for GPS to open this thing up now. Runners at second and third, nobody out. The infield is playing in for the Blackfins. Ryan Leninger is the batter. And the first pitch to him, ripped down the right field line, hooking and foul into the bullpen. Down the right side. That's the Seattle bullpen, so it's no balls and a strike to Leninger, who is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to the pitcher and to first base. Change up at 74. 1 ball and 1 strike, that one missed. Robley Corsi had 4 appearances at Shoreline Community College this past season as the pitch is outside for a ball. He pitched in 8 1/3 innings. He walked 3 and struck out 4. He had a 3.24 earned run average in those 8 1/3 this past season. At 79, he misses, and the count's 3-1. He also had 78 at-bats this past season and drove home 8 runs with a .231 batting average. 3-1, and there's ball 4. At 80 miles an hour, he misses away, and they are now loaded for GPS with nobody out, and that's going to get the coach out of the dugout for the Blackfins, and that might well do it for Corsi with activity down in the bullpen for Seattle. We'll see for sure. Ben Andrews is the head coach of Seattle. Alex DeCaro and Dave Snell are the assistants, and they are going for the bullpen. Pitching change being made with the score 4-2 GPS, but a golden chance for them to blow this thing open in the bottom half of the 5th inning at the 90th NBC World Series.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
I'm bougie. I'm like $7 bougie.
The all-new $7 deal lovers menu at Pizza Hut. Choose your $7 faves 7 days a week.
Because it's only a deal if you love it.
No one out-pizzas the Hut.
William Rankin, the new left-handed pitcher for the Seattle Blackfins. And he's another tall one. Going through some warm-up tosses. He is 6'4", 185 pounds, and he's out of Oak Harbor, Washington. And if anybody is watching from Oak Harbor, that's actually a town I used to live in. So that kind of hits home personally for me. He's facing Jackson Rainey here in the bottom of the fifth inning with the bases loaded and nobody out. And the first pitch to Rainey is a slider that misses down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Rankin is on in a very big situation here. Bases loaded, nobody out, and his team trying to stay within 2 of GPS, but that is very much in doubt right here. 2 balls and no strikes. Oak Harbor, Washington is on Whidbey Island in the Pacific Northwest, northwest of Seattle. Big military base there, Navy, which is what brought me there and a lot of people as well. The pitch is outside for a ball. The count is now 3 balls and no strikes. Rankin will attend Edmonds Community College. Infield looks for a double play. They are not playing in. The pitch. And that is ball 4, and that is a 4-pitch walk. So when Ben Andrews came out to bring in Rankin, that's not at all what he had in mind. On 4 pitches, to mention that, a walk, and in comes from third Randy Cardenas to score, and his busy night continues. He's got 3 singles, an RBI, and now a run scored to go with that. And it is now 5-2 GPS, and here is the next batter, Jackson Todd. Todd is down in the count, 0-1. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and now maybe Rankin has found his groove. He's thrown 2 straight strikes, and it's 0-2. Jackson Todd 0 for 2 on the night. Swung on and fouled, back to the screen. And the count is still no balls and 2 strikes. Jackson Todd is 0 for 7 in this tournament. That one gets back to the backstop. It's a wild pitch. Here comes the runner in from third, and he will score. On a wild pitch, Mazan scores. And another one in for GPS here in the inning, and it's now 6-2. GPS's Legends with the lead. Leninger down to third, and Rainey down to second on the wild pitch. Actually, I beg your pardon. Yes, that's correct. Leninger's at third, Rainey's at second. Still nobody out here in the inning, as that one chopped at the plate foul. This game started out like we might have a pretty good pitcher's duel. It was scoreless through 2.5 innings. But a 3 spot for GPS in the third, and they've added single runs in the now 4th inning and 2 in the 5th to lead 6-2, and 2 in scoring position here with nobody out. Counts even now, 2-2. Outside, ball 3. Paul Samarimo waits on deck, the number 9 hitter in the order for GPS. Chopped foul, 2-2. Excuse me, 3-2. Nine hits for GPS on the night, 6 for Seattle. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and a much needed strikeout for William Rankin there, and that's the first out of the inning. So 1 down now for Paul Samaripa. Samaripa, a nice night tonight out of the 9 spot with a single and a walk, and he's also scored a run. So GPS getting some production out of him out of the 9 spot. Infield still playing in with a runner at third. Way outside, 2-0. GPS looking for just their 2nd ever win in the NBC World Series. 1-5 is their overall record. Pitches a strike, 2-1. That one was at 82 miles an hour. Another one that gets away from Mike Snyder behind the plate, and here comes another run to score. And now a throw to third, and back in just in the nick of time is Jackson Rainey. Leninger scored on the wild pitch. Rainey moved to third and then almost rounded the bag too far. But he got back just in the nick of time. 7-2 now. GPS with the lead, and the infield will stay in with only 1 out. And now 1 runner at third base. There's ball 4. And William Rankin having trouble finding the strike zone here tonight. There's no activity in the Seattle bullpen either. Rankin has walked 2 of the 3 batters he's faced, and he might be out there for a little while longer. Now somebody has actually just started warming up as I say that for the Blackfins. Top of the order, Cooper Knight steps in. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He has also walked and scored. Rankin stretches and delivers. Sliced foul left side. And the count's now 1 ball, then 1 strike. Cooper Knight's from Lufkin, Texas, in East Texas, attending Angelo State University in San Angelo, Texas. The pitch, that one is bunted back to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count tonight. The Angelo State Rams it is. For quite a while, their logo looked very much, and I think it still does, like that of the Los Angeles Rams. Same colors as well, blue and gold. Here's the pitch. Outside, now it dribbles away from Snyder, and running was Samaripa, and he's going to get the stolen base anyway. But not advancing from third is Jackson Rainey. But now 2 in scoring position again for GPS. Up by 5 now, and a chance to really open this thing up. Infield will be drawn in, but only 1 out. No double play possibility. The pitch. And it hit him. Things going from bad to worse for William Rankin here in the inning. And that's going to get time and a conversation out on the circle. And in fact, the relief pitcher that was warming up for Seattle did so rather quickly and is now ready. And that's going to be it for William Rankin. So 3 are in for GPS, and they've got 3 on. Still only 1 out in the inning. So we've got another pitching change. We'll take the timeout. 7-3, or 7-2 is the score. GPS on top in the bottom of the 5th.
With Butler having such a small class size, everybody had a voice in the classroom. Everybody was able to participate. To this day, there are students that I took classes with 10 years ago that I could pick up the phone and call. That's how much the community at Butler has affected the way I even do my business today. When I went to another college to try it out, I was just a number. They didn't even know my name. Butler's class sizes are smaller. That's where you get that community feel. And cost-wise, a lot cheaper.
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices, each just $3 or less. Starring the cheesy double beef burrito. Double the seasoned beef, all the cheesiness, and so much craveable flavor. Get it on the Cravings Value Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Back to the bullpen again for the Seattle Blackfins, and this time it's right-hander Ryder Vane, who is a 6-foot, 160-pounder out of Arlington, Washington, and pitching collegiately at Everett Community College. So Vane is in, trying to stop the bleeding and hold this GPS team at bay, but the longer this game goes on, the more that GPS continues to take hold. They were scoreless through the first couple of innings, then a 3-run third for GPS, 1 in the 4th, and now 3 more here in the 5th. And they've got the bases loaded here and only 1 out. The infield for Seattle had been drawn in. Now with 1 away and the bases loaded, they will play back and look for a double play. But what looked like it might be early a good low-scoring pitcher's duel has turned into a 5-run advantage for GPS and a chance to add to that with the bases loaded and 1 out here. And it's Dayton Taki that will step in now. He'll be the first man that will face Vane, who stretches. Nobody holding the runners on and pitches. And the pitch is an off-speed changeup at 76. 1 ball and no strikes. Way outside again, 2-0. Rainey the runner at third. Samaripa's at second. Cooper Knight's over at first. Dayton Taki's already got a 2 RBI double in this game and an RBI fielder's choice in the 4th inning. And he sends this one fouling out of play. He also singled in the 1st inning. So he is actually working on a 2-for-3 night with 3 RBIs and a run scored. So certainly already looks like a guy that might be the offensive player of the game and a chance to really solidify that right here. He takes for a strike, 2-2. Well, you look at that back foot for him, it is almost too far out of the batter's box. He is got part of his foot out of the box. In fact, time has been called. I don't know if we can get another look at that angle right there when he steps into the box, but just look how deep he is. That left back foot right on the line, and the heel is actually out of the box. That is as deep as you can get. Sliced foul, out of play. Count still 2-2. First game tomorrow, the San Diego Stars and the Derby Twins. Derby's a local team that is playing very well in this tournament. They're 2-0, so they'll try to go perfect in pool play tomorrow. This one is chopped up the first baseline. This is going to be a tough play. The only play will be to first, but a run will score. So Taki does ground out 1-3, but he's going to get another run batted in. As in from third to score is Rainey. And that is the fourth run batted in for Dayton Taki. So 4 ribbies for him, and it's now 8-2, and the other 2 runners move up as well. So Sam Aripa now down at third, and Knight is over at second base. 2 outs now, and Luke Bannister, the 9th man to hit in the order this inning for GPS, and he's going to bounce to third, and Harrison Kaufman's going to take care of that. But 4 more score for GPS in the inning. They lead by 6 as we go to inning number 6, 8-2. GPS on top of Seattle at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Evergy, we're focused not just on what we power, but on who we power, right here in our community. We provide payment assistance to our neighbors who need it. Invest in organizations and people, creating opportunity for all to benefit. And volunteer our time around our hometown so that together we improve it. Because we're committed to spreading good energy throughout our community. Evergy, the utility company.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
Well, the GPS Legends really have some breathing space now. After this game was low scoring and tight early, they have opened up a 6-run lead now, 8-2. As we head to the 6th inning, 8 runs on 9 hits for the Legends, 2 runs and 6 hits for the Blackfins of Seattle, who now have their work cut out for them if they are to stay alive in this tournament. Again, the winner of this game moves on to elimination play in the tournament, which starts on Wednesday. The loser of this game is done, and it's as simple as that. Hayesville and Santa Barbara already have moved on and clinched a spot in elimination play. The question is, would it be one of these 2 teams that would be the 3rd team from Pool B to move on? And it was as simple as the winner of this game would be the one that moves on, the loser doesn't. And so far, not only is it advantage GPS, but a big advantage as well as they lead by 6. So we're ready now for the top of inning number 6, and here we go. Back out to pitch for GPS is Trenton Chenard. And he's ahead in the count right now. No balls and 2 strikes. Peyton Bigby is the batter for Seattle. And Bigby is down in the count now, a ball and 2 strikes, taking after falling down in the count 0-2. Paxton Bigby, who is 1 for run tonight. He has walked and singled. And the count's now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bigby is a big, lumbering left-handed first baseman, but he also stole a base in the 4th inning after singling. And all of a sudden, after 2 straight strikes, 3 straight balls for Chenard. So the count is now full at 3-2. The pitch, line foul. Trenton Chenard again heading to Warner, but I also touched on it earlier. He played collegiately this past season at Dodge City Community College. He's out of Houston, Texas. Chopped foul at the plate. Still 3-2. 19 innings at Dodge City this past season. And a 10.42 earned run average, though. Another one fouled back. Chenard has pitched 2 seasons at Dodge City in a total of 25 2/3. Slice to left, right at Jackson Todd. There for the first out of the inning, 1 away. So Indy Anderson will step up to the plate now. Chenard just 6 2/3 innings at Dodge City in 2023, and then 19 innings this past season, for a total of 25 2/3 in his career. Opponents have hit .301 against him in his 2-year career at Dodge City. Indy Anderson takes his strike, 0-1. 29 walks and 35 strikeouts in 25 2/3 innings for Chenard at Dodge City. Fouled back to the screen, 0-2. And that one was swung on and fouled at the plate, but then it touched the turf before skipping into the glove of Luke Bannister, who tried to tag him out, but it's a foul ball, and it's now 0-2 still. So Anderson stays alive. And there's strike 3 called on the outside edge. Anderson doesn't like that. He was thinking it was outside, I'm sure, and instead, down he goes. So 2 outs now for the catcher, Mike Snyder. Snyder's having a decent night at the plate. He's 1 for 1. He singled and walked. And he's going to send one on the turf here on a couple of hops to short. Samaripa's there, a strong arm throw to first in time for a 6-3 putout. And Seattle goes in order in the 6th. They trail by 6 as we head to the bottom half of inning number 6.
And I've had a student in this very class.
Jay was drawing some love now.
At Evergy, we're focused not just on what we power, but on who we power, right here in our community. We provide payment assistance to our neighbors who need it. Invest in organizations and people, creating opportunity for all to benefit. And volunteer our time around our hometown so that together we improve it. Because we're committed to spreading good energy throughout our community. Evergy, the utility company.
8-2 is our score. The GPS Legends on top of the Blackfins of Seattle. So the Texas team over the team from Washington State here, as we're ready now for the bottom of inning number 6, an inning that will have leading off Randy Cardenas, as he was the man that led off the 5th inning for this GPS team, and they batted around. They scored 4 times. They sent 9 to the plate. So Cardenas started the inning off with a single, and he scored later in the 5th. And he'll start inning number 6 off as well against Radar Vane, who delivers a pitch, and that one is up high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Vane is out of Arlington, Washington. As I mentioned earlier, he went to Arlington High School. And the pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch. Fastball on the outside edge. Strike zone appears to maybe have opened up a little bit with this game opening up as well, with GPS leading by 6. That one high and away. And the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball to second, fielded by Gunther. He'll throw to first in time. There's a 4-3 put out. And Cardenas is retired for the first time tonight. He was 3 for 3 on the night, with 3 singles, an RBI, and a run scored, and finally records an out. 1 away now for Trace Mazan, the first baseman. Mazan first pitch swinging and fouls one back and out of play. 0-1 to him. Another one fouled back and another one out of play. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes now. So 0-2 in the pitch. Grounded to third. Kaufman. Low throw to first, and Bigby couldn't dig it out. So safe at first base is Mazan. And that might be an E5. Indeed it is. First error of the game for either team, committed by Harrison Kaufman of Seattle. So a runner at first, 1 away for Riley Leninger, the third baseman. Infield will look for a double play. There goes the runner. And the pitch is outside for a ball, and an easy stolen base for Mazan. No throw home. So a stolen base and a runner at second base. So much for the double play now for Seattle. Hot shot through on the right side. That's going to be a base hit. They're going to wave the runner around third. The throw home, and we will have a tag, and standing in safely is Mazan. Boy, that was close. He opted not to slide and almost was tagged out on the foot, and instead it's going to be an RBI single. Leninger gets the RBI. Mazan scores from second, and now it's 9-2. As GPS has the lead by 7. So Jackson Rainey is up now. And the infield again for Seattle looks for a double play with a runner at first and 1 away. There's a strike, and it's 0-1. Well, I talked about the offenses for these two teams sputtering through the first two games. It still is for Seattle, but GPS has finally found their rhythm. GPS with 14 hits in 2 games. They've got 10 tonight in just 1 game. No balls and 2 strikes. The count to Jackson Rainey. They scored 6 runs combined in 2 games, and they've scored 9 in 1 here tonight. At the start of the broadcast, I talked about how little the Seattle Blackfins had used their bullpen, thinking they might be fresh, but GPS's bullpen has been much the better one tonight. Shallow left field. The left fielder, Perrin, comes all the way into shallow center field to finally track that one down for the second out of the inning. So Rainey flies out now, and with 2 outs, GPS is going to go with a pinch hitter right here. And it's Gabriel Matersky out of Round Rock, Texas, and Concordia College that will step in place of Jackson Todd. So Matersky steps in with a runner at first and 2 away. And the pitch is a fastball outside, 0-1. Well, 1-0. Big cut and sends it right back to the screen, 0-2. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at first, 2 outs. The count is 1-1 to Gabriel Matersky. Throw over to first, and Leninger is back. Nothing doing there. Inside edge, that's a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Paul Samaripa waits on deck. He's the number 9 hitter in the order for GPS, but he's had a very busy night at the plate and on the base paths. Swing and a miss, and down goes Matersky, and down goes GPS in the bottom of the 6th, but they played another. They lead by 7 as we head to the 7th at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Sometimes I wish I could go back just to take a class just because I love the environment. I love the family. I love the networking that you get when you're involved with Butler. I can still pick up the phone. I have those teachers in my phone number today. So if I had a question on something coming up, I can call any one of the teachers that I've had at Butler and they would answer.
There's something happening in Wichita. Excitement, movement, a vibe. A city that offers amazing experiences delivered with heart. From arts to attractions, nightlife to sports, you feel the energy at every turn. A little fancy, a little funky, but always friendly. Come see the place we love. We think you'll love it too. Discover more at visitwichita.com.
To the 7th inning we go from Wichita, 9-2. The GPS Legends just continue to chip away. All 9 of their runs have been scored since the 3rd inning. This was a scoreless game after 2, but then since then, in inning number 3, GPS with a 3 spot, 1 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, and then another single run that just occurred in the bottom of the 6th inning. So 9-2 is our score as we're ready now for inning number 7 as time is running out for the Seattle Blackfins, who are hoping to stay alive in this tournament and advance to elimination play, but They've got to overcome a 7-run deficit with just 3 innings left, barring extra innings to remain alive. But anything's possible. In the 90 years of this wonderful tournament, I'm sure stranger things have happened. We saw quite a game yesterday involving the Liberal BJs, for example, in their contest where they were down and overcame a 6-0 deficit and won their game yesterday. So you just don't know. They were playing the San Diego Stars, who led 6-0 after 3 innings. And Liberal came storming back in the final 5 innings to win that game 11-7. Brody Gunther is the batter to start the top half of inning number 7, and the count's 1 ball and 1 strike to him. His last time up, he got his first hit of the tournament in 6 plate appearances. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count to Gunther. He also picked up an RBI with his 4th inning single. This one is chopped foul up the third baseline, and the count will hold at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Gunther will try it again. We'll go back to the top of the order after this with Ryan Jeffrey, then Harrison Kaufman. 9-1-2 for the Blackfins here in the 7th. That one is in tight for a ball. Charlie Bauer is the new pitcher for GPS. He is 6'7", 250 pounds. I think you could field a pretty good basketball team with some of the players we've seen in this game tonight, particularly the pitchers, as this one is down low for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. William Rankin, the pitcher for Seattle that was in a couple of innings ago, goes 6-4. Charlie Bauer in there now for GPS goes 6-7 as there's ball 4. And down to first base goes Gunther. We have seen some tall drinks of water, if you will, in this contest. Cameron Blowers is at 6'6". He's a pitcher for Seattle that I think we saw. We've got a number 30 on our roster, and he was number 30. Although the pitcher on the roster is listed as a left-handed pitcher, and he was a righty, but if that was him, he's 6'6". Ryan Jeffrey is up there now, 0-1 the count to him. Boy, it's no coincidence that a team that is struggling to get hits and runs is struggling at the top of the lineup. And the top 3 in the lineup for this Seattle team have really struggled today. It's not been a great tournament for them in general, but certainly here tonight. Jeffrey takes just outside. He is 0 for 3. He struck out twice. Harrison Kaufman, who's on deck, is 1 for 3. And Josh Williams, the number 3 hitter, is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts as well, just like Jeffrey is. Bouncer through on the left side. That'll be a base hit. And there you go. Maybe that's the key, is to talk about his struggles. And Jeffrey, a nice piece of hitting right there. Going the opposite way between short and third, and that'll be a base hit. And Gunther moves his way down to second base. So 2 on with nobody out for the Seattle Blackfins, and that'll get one of the coaches for GPS out of the dugout to have a conversation out on the hill. Again, still plenty of time for this Seattle team as they bat in the top of the 7th inning. Their bats have been quiet, but you certainly don't want to give them a chance to start building some confidence and momentum. So I'm sure that's what that conversation was about, in addition to getting the bullpens a chance to get loose down in the left field side, which they are now for GPS. Harrison Kaufman is in. And the first pitch to him is a strike, 0-1. Kaufman singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Infield looks for a double play for GPS. And the pitch. This one is driven into center field. Over to his right is Jackson Rainey, and he'll track it down for out number 1. Runners have to hold, as that one was not deep enough to send Gunther over to third. So 1 out now for what was scheduled to be Josh Williams. It looks like they will pinch hit for him instead. This is going to be a Bryce Lindbergh out of Seattle, pinch hitting for the Blackfins. Up there from the right side of the plate and taking outside for a ball, 1-0. Playing collegiately at Hawaii Pacific, he is from Seattle. Lindbergh a chance to try and get his team back into this one. Chopped foul at the plate over toward the third base coach's box. So 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Lindbergh. Bauer stretches, looks at second and fires home, and that one's slider down and in, and now the catcher Bannister couldn't find it momentarily. Now he does, but not before the runners advance. Down to third goes Gunther, and down to second base goes Jeffrey. So 2 in scoring position now for the Blackfins with 1 out. Infield for GPS will continue to play at normal depth. Actually, the runner at first has held, I beg your pardon. Jeffrey is still at first base. The pitch swung on, and there's strike 3. So down goes Josh Williams for the second out of the inning, or excuse me, the pinch hitter. Lindbergh strikes out swinging for 2 away. So here's Vibai Desai, the shortstop, who had a 4th inning double. Takes a strike, 0-1. One of the lone offensive bright spots for this team in this tournament, with 2 extra base hits, a home run and a double. They have not done much else, has Seattle. And Desai's worked the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. On the ground to second. Or to short, excuse me. Samaripa will underhand toss to second. Cooper Knight's there for a 6-4, and the side retired. So Seattle leaves 2, and it's stretch time at X Stadium. 9-2. GPS with the lead at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
I'm bougie. I'm like $7 bougie.
The all-new $7 deal lovers menu at Pizza Hut. Choose your $7 faves 7 days a week.
Because it's only a deal if you love it.
No one out-pizzas the Hut.
To the bottom of the 7th we go from X Stadium in Wichita in a 9-2 lead for the GPS Legends over the Seattle Blackfins. Steve Strain is my name. Glad you've joined us on this Monday night of baseball from Wichita at the 90th NBC World Series. And the GPS Blackfins, the GPS Legends are glad they finally found some offense after a couple of games where they struggled somewhat, but up by 7 here. And the first pitch here to Paul Samaripa is ripped down the left field line, and that is hooking and foul. Oh, and he just barely missed a home run. As he ripped that one down the left field line into the corner, and here is another look at it. Look how close this one was to being a home run. That would have given GPS an 8-run lead in the bottom of the 7th, and I believe that would have mercy ruled this thing into an end. Now he takes a strike, and it's 0-2. It's been a good night for Samaripa out of the number 9 hole as well. He has walked twice and singled and has an RBI and a stolen base. He's going to ground out to short here, 6-3. As Desai makes the play, 1 away. So back to the top of the order we go now with Cooper Knight. Knight also has 2 walks. He also has a 4th inning single, and he scored a run. Swings and misses there, and it's 0-1. This one is off to the side of the mound, and Chenard makes a nice play, fielding his position off the mound over toward the third base side. Then a sidearm throw to first, just in the nick of time. So 2 quick outs now as Knight is retired, 1-3 for out number 2, and Dayton Taki, who is swinging a red-hot bat, steps up now. He was 2 for 2 to start the game. He's gone 0 for 2 since, but even in his last 2 outs, grounding into a fielder's choice and bouncing out to the pitcher, he's driven home runs. So 4 RBIs for Taki tonight, including a 3rd inning double, which brought home 2. Big swing there, and he's down in the count, 0-2. He was 1 for 3 in the tournament coming into play tonight. Boy, has he turned that around now. .79 miles an hour. Chenard misses outside, 1-2. Bouncing ball up the middle, that's through. That'll be a base hit. And another hit for Taki now, and he's got 3 base hits tonight. 4 RBIs, and he scored a run. Continuing to make a very strong case for the player of the game in this one, for the bat he has swung tonight. So a runner at first, 2 outs now for Luke Bannister, the catcher. He has not had that kind of success. He's 0 for 4. And this one in on the fist, and it's muscled out towards second. A very slow roller fielded by Gunther, who will retire. Bannister 4-3 for out number 3. So a 2-out single, all GPS could manage in the bottom of the 7th inning. To the 8th we go, GPS 9 and the Blackfins 2 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
With Butler having such a small class size, everybody had a voice in the classroom. Everybody was able to participate. To this day, there are students that I took classes with 10 years ago that I could pick up the phone and call. That's how much the community at Butler has affected the way I even do my business today. When I went to another college to try it out, I was just a number. They didn't even know my name. Butler's class sizes are smaller. That's where you get that community feel. And cost-wise, a lot cheaper.
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices, each just $3 or less. Starring the cheesy double beef burrito. Double the seasoned beef, all the cheesiness, and so much craveable flavor. Get it on the Cravings Value Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Ready now for inning number 8 from Wichita. The GPS Legends 9 and the Seattle Blackfins 2. 9 runs, 11 hits for GPS, 2 runs, 7 hits for Seattle. And the Blackfins have committed the game's only error as well. So Seattle now running out of outs. They've got a 7-run deficit with only 6 outs left to go here in the contest. Again, tomorrow at 12 o'clock, scheduled first pitch for our first game on the final day of pool play. Derby and the San Diego Stars will do battle. The other games tomorrow, the Air Capital Flyers and the Kansas Cannons. Then the Lone Star Baseball Club will take on the Hayes Larks. And the night will wrap up with Boulder and the Liberal BJs. And that's your 4 games for tomorrow. Liberal is trying to make another bid for elimination play, and they certainly helped themselves yesterday with that thrilling 11-7 win I mentioned earlier. So another busy day tomorrow with this 90th NBC as we make our way towards Championship Saturday. Caleb Hillis is the new pitcher for the GPS Legends. He's out of Lufkin, Texas. 6'3", 200-pounder, pitching at Stephen F. Austin, which is in Nacogdoches, Texas. And the first pitch is down low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Jeffrey Perrin. Perrin 1 for 3, a second inning single, and he blasts this one to left center field. This one is very well struck, and this one is out of here to left center field. A leadoff blast for Perrin, and it's now a 9-3 ball game. Well, that was a long and loud blast to left center field. I mean, that one just exploded off the bat, off to the left of the 375 sign. And that one probably traveled about 390 or so feet by the time it cleared the fence out in left center field. So a little noise for Seattle here in the 8th, but they still trail by 6. And now a hot shot, bouncing ball out to second that Cooper Knight has trouble fielding, but he recovers well and throws out Paxton Bigby for the first out of the inning. A 4-3 put out, 1 away. That's the good thing about this turf if you're a defender, is the ball gets to you more quickly. So if you do not field it cleanly, like Knight didn't there, you still have some time to recover because it gets to you more quickly. 1 away. Keegan Agan is now a pinch hitter for the Seattle Blackfins, up there from the left side of the plate. Out of Marysville, Washington, and another Shoreline Community College product. He's another tall one, 6'4", 190 pounds. Two balls and a strike. That's another well-struck ball to right field, but backing up and tracking this one down is Dayton Taki for out number 2. So 2 outs now for Mike Snyder. Taki gave that one a pretty good ride, but to no avail. So now GPS is down to their final 4 outs of the game. And it looks like there's going to be a pitching change. So that indeed will do it, as the Legends will go to the bullpen here in the bottom half of the top half of inning number 8. So Hillis is gone. Pitching change being made. Timeout on the field. The score 9-3. GPS with the lead. Top of the 8th inning at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
With Butler having such a small class size, everybody had a voice in the classroom. Everybody was able to participate. To this day, there are students that I took classes with 10 years ago that I could pick up the phone and call. That's how much the community at Butler has affected the way I even do my business today. When I went to another college to try it out, I was just a number. They didn't even know my name. Butler's class sizes are smaller. That's where you get that community feel. And cost-wise, a lot cheaper.
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices, each just $3 or less. Starring the cheesy double beef burrito. Double the seasoned beef, all the cheesiness, and so much craveable flavor. Get it on the Cravings Value Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Right-hander Clint Beck is on now for the GPS Legends. 6 feet, 195-pounder out of Temple, Texas, and pitching at Weatherford College is the side armor at most, possibly submariner, as he is another tall and lanky one at 195 pounds, and you get a good look at him right there, and it's probably more of a sidearm than submarine, but he is on to try and finish off the Seattle Blackfins here in the top of the 8th inning, with GPS leading by the score of 9-3. And Mike Snyder is the first batter that will be faced by Clint Beck here in the top of the 8th inning. Nobody on and 2 outs as Snyder steps in. 1 hit to his credit tonight, and the first pitch is a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. And that one misses away for a ball, and the count is now 2 balls and no strikes to Snyder. So Beck trying to get dialed in on his 3rd pitch, and that one is up high for a ball. And so 3 pitches, 3 balls. This is also the bottom of the order, and you don't want to give Seattle a thought about getting runners on and flipping it back to the top. And a chance to maybe make some noise and get back into this game. So there's a much needed strike in that regard by Beck, and the count's now 3-1. Good swing there, and Snyder sends it back to the screen. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Snyder from Burien, Washington, and he will play at Morningside this year. 3-2. And the pitch is outside for a ball, and down to first base goes Snyder. So a 2-out walk, and now the number 9 hitter in the order is Brody Gunther, and he will step up to the plate for Seattle. Gunther makes his 4th plate appearance, but only 1 official appearance tonight, as he has a sacrifice bunt and a walk to his credit, but his official at bat he made the most of. It was an RBI single in the 4th inning. So he is 1 for 1, which is just what the count is. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sliced foul and out of play. And it's 1-2. At 82 miles an hour, that one just missed. And the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first, 2 away. 9-3, GPS on top of Seattle. And that one down low. Good stop by Luke Bannister behind the dish. The count's full, 3-2. So Mike Snyder will be running here with the count full and 2 outs. And here comes the payoff pitch as the runner goes. That's ball 4. So Beck comes on, but immediately delivers a walk, and down to second base goes Snyder. And on at first base with the walk is Brody Gunther, and that might be the end of the line for Beck. There'll be a conversation out on the hill. There are actually 2 pitchers that have been warming up for GPS over the last few minutes, and instead there'll just be a short conversation and Beck will stay in the game, but that might be short-lived if he does to the top part of the order what he just did to Gunther and have problems with his control. First and second, 2 outs. Here's Ryan Jeffrey. Jeffrey, a very nice opposite field single his last time up after struggling through his first 3 at-bats. But he takes outside. That's a ball, 1-0. Goes the other way again to left field. Todd over toward the line as this one is slicing, and he tracks it down. Nice running catch, Jackson Todd, and Seattle strands 2 in the top half of the 8th inning. To the bottom of the 8th we go. GPS 9 and the Blackfins 3 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
There's something happening in Wichita. Excitement, movement, a vibe. A city that offers amazing experiences delivered with heart. From arts to attractions, nightlife to sports, you feel the energy at every turn. A little fancy, a little funky, but always friendly. Come see the place we love. We think you'll love it too. Discover more at visitwichita.com.
Whether you're preparing a perfect meal, getting people back on the road, protecting online privacy, or supporting your patient's health, you want to be the best professional in your field. At Butler Community College, our focus is getting you the highly specialized and versatile training needed to start your career in as little as a year. Our classroom experiences are fine-tuned by industry professionals. You'll launch into the workforce with the confidence and skills to make you stand out from the rest. Butler Community College. Real college. Really affordable.
To the bottom of the 8th inning now with the score 9-3. The Seattle Blackfins on top of the GPS Legends on top of the Seattle Blackfins. So a 6-run lead for GPS, and they will try to improve on that lead here as they look to move on to elimination play in this tournament, which starts on Wednesday. Tomorrow, the final day of pool play, and then elimination play starts single elimination on Wednesday, with the tournament wrapping up on Saturday. So GPS up by 6, looking for more here in the bottom of the 8th inning. You got a good look at Randy Cardenas, and he will lead things off for GPS. And Ryder Vane will continue to pitch for Seattle, and the first pitch from Vane is in for a strike to Cardenas. 0-1, and Cardenas has had a very good night tonight. He's 3 for 4. He's down in the count quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. A bunt single for Cardenas in the first, then an RBI single on a soft little floater to right field in the third. He also singled in the 5th inning before finally grounding out in the 6th for his first out recorded. And there's some of the GPS legends having a good night time in the dugout as the count is 0-2. This game was started by none other than former Major Leaguer Brett Phillips for the GPS Legends, who came on to start the game throwing fastballs at over 90 miles an hour. He struck out the side and then went to the bench as this one is lifted into center field. Ryan Jeffrey started in, stumbled, then went over to his right and made the catch for out number 1. What a thrill it was to see that guy out here at X Stadium pitching in this NBC World Series. A guy that played for the nearby Kansas City Royals for a brief time, and he also went to the Tampa Bay Rays. And now throwing strikes for the GPS Legends as Trace Mazon takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Bouncing ball to third, fielded by Harrison Kaufman. He'll throw to first in time. There's a 5-3 put out. And 2 away. Due up for Seattle in the top half of the 9th inning will be Harrison Kaufman, then Josh Williams and Vibe Desai. 2, 3, and 4 for the Blackfins, but they will come up to bat at least down by 6 runs. Riley Leninger steps in now. First pitch swinging, sends one back to the screen. And again, if you missed it earlier, if you are familiar with, or even if you're not Brett Phillips, you might want to do a Google on the story about him and the young lady battling cancer when Phillips played for the Tampa Bay Rays. It is a neat, heartwarming story, and there's a neat play out in left field by Perron, diving to his left on a slicing line drive to retire the side in order. Look at this as Perron on his horse, then diving to his left, making the nice play, and down goes GPS in the bottom of the 8th inning. To the 9th we go. GPS 9, Seattle 3 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Evergy, we're focused not just on what we power, but on who we power, right here in our community. We provide payment assistance to our neighbors who need it. Invest in organizations and people, creating opportunity for all to benefit. And volunteer our time around our hometown so that together we improve it. Because we're committed to spreading good energy throughout our community. Evergy, the utility company.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
On to the 9th we go, 9-3. The GPS Legends on top of the Seattle Blackfins, who need 6 to tie and 7 to send this one to a bottom of the 9th inning. And also, that's what Seattle needs in order to stay alive in this tournament. In this winner stays, loser goes home contest, it's all GPS right now, and Seattle needs quite a rally here in the top of the 9th inning to stay alive. And they'll have to do it against Carson Reeves, a new pitcher for GPS, and he's another tall one at 6'3", 165 pounds, out of Round Rock, Texas, and Angelina College. And the first pitch from Reeves misses for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Harrison Kaufman, who has 1 hit tonight in 4 plate appearances. This one fouled back to the screen, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Harrison Kaufman from Seattle and playing collegiately, including this past season at St. Bonaventure. At 64 miles an hour, this one floats in outside. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count. That one not close, and it's 3-1. If you're Carson Reeves, you just want and need to throw strikes right here. No sense in really trying to get too cute and paint corners or play around like he just did there, because that's a leadoff walk. And down to first base goes Kaufman. Second time he's been aboard tonight. Now, up by 6 runs, you just want to get there and throw the ball across the plate, and so far that's now 6 pitches, and he's only done that one time, has Reeves. It's important too not to have to go unnecessarily deep into your bullpen. You want to save those guys for later on in the tournament. Here's a little flare out into shallow center field. That one's going to drop for a base hit. Down to second goes Kaufman on the bloop single for Josh Williams. And just what Seattle needed here in the top of the 9th inning, down by 6. A little sign of life with the first 2 batters to reach on a walk and a single. And now Vahe Desai will step up to the plate, or at least he was due up, and instead he's going to be pinch hit for. That's interesting because Desai had a home run over the weekend, then a long double to center field tonight, but he is going to be pinch hit for right here, and instead it's J.T. Starkus out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and Shoreline Community College that will step in. And he will hit instead for Desai. This one was fouled back and out of play. It's also interesting because Desai is a left-handed hitter, and there's a right-handed pitcher out on the hill. It almost makes you wonder if maybe Desai got injured. Seems like a left-handed hitter who's been striking it well would be the guy you'd want right here. Again, unless he got hurt. That one was a slider floated in at about 63 that's fouled back to the screen. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to J.T. Starkus. Another one fouled back. Starkus, one of 10 Seattle Blackfins who are listed as attending Shoreline Community College this upcoming season. So that's a little more than a third of their roster. The pitch down and away, and the count is now 3-2. There is still nobody out here in the inning. You load them up here, and Seattle starts thinking, hey, it's game on. The pitch muscled out towards second, and this one is going to land, and now there's going to be a throw to second base, 4-6 on the putout, and that was not an infield fly, as the second baseman Cooper Knight had to charge in from fairly deep at second base. That's because GPS was looking for the double play, and so he was playing back deep, and I was looking at the umpires to see if we might get the signal for an infield fly, and we didn't. But there is a putout, 4-6 for the first out of the inning. And on that note, GPS will make a pitching change and we'll take a timeout. Top of the 9th inning, 9-3 the score. 2 runners on for Seattle at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
And I have had a student in this very class.
Jay was drawing some love.
I really hope it's like this everywhere, but I also really believe that it's special to Butler. Like, I feel like once you come in, it's a culture. Like, they really want their students to succeed. For me, talking to somebody that has come from a position like me where they were out of the game for a long time, it can change your life. It changed my whole path. Like, I felt like at Butler, I found my people.
Tanner Riley is the new pitcher for the GPS Legends out of Clyde, Texas, and Abilene Christian. Clyde is a small city just about 10 miles to the east of Abilene out in West Texas. And Riley is going to now try and get things finished off for this GPS team here in the top of the 9th inning with the score 9-3. A double play would end the ball game as Seattle trying to mount a rally, and for a moment there things were looking promising. They had first and second, nobody out, then a force out at second, 4-6 on a fielder's choice for out number 1, and now Jeffrey Perron is in as he's the first batter that Riley will face, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. And that one just low. Perron reached and scored his last time up in the 8th inning. He also has a 2nd inning single, but he takes down and away here. And the count is 2 balls and a strike. GPS pitchers just having a hard time getting ahead in the count. 2-1, and the pitch. Lined right to first, and Mazan is going to dive to the bag for a 3 unassisted double play. And that is the ball game. Well, that one was well struck by Perron, but right to Mazan for an easy 3 unassisted. And that's that. The final score, GPS 9, the Seattle Blackfins 3, and GPS moves on to the elimination rounds of this tournament, and Seattle's Blackfins are through. 9 runs and 11 hits, no errors for GPS, 3 runs on 8 hits and an error for Seattle, as the Blackfins now will head back to the Northwest, and GPS moves on. What a fun one this was, started by former Major Leaguer Brett Phillips, striking out the side for GPS. That set the tone, and the bats got in gear starting in the 3rd with 3 runs, a single in the 4th, and a 4-run 5th. Pretty much put this one out of reach as GPS, high fives there on the 3rd base side. They will move on. That'll do it for our final game and all of our play tonight on this Monday of the 90th NBC World Series. We'll be back with you again tomorrow for the final day of pool play. For now, Steve Strain saying so long and good night from Wichita.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with today's Pinnacle Realty Group player of the game, number 58, Dayton Taki. Dayton, you went 3 for 5 today with 4 RBIs, also scored a run. Walk me through your performance today. Did.
I did pretty well. I was seeing the ball well and just hit barrels.
With this win, you advanced to bracket play. How's that feel?
Good. We're just going to come out Wednesday and whip their ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Pinnacle Realty Group player of the game, Dayton Taki. I wish. And also on behalf of the NBC World Series, we'd like to thank the Seattle Blackfins for coming out. Everybody give the Seattle Blackfins a round of applause.
But anyways, things like that. But